Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
And I hope you can hear us because today's going to be a very, very good day.
It is.
And the reason I say I hope you can hear us is because I want everyone to use the mic check emote.
Oh.
I saw some people using it earlier, and it looks really cool when everyone uses it. We are kicking off a hype train, which means we are going to have another shot. I want to break a couple things down. First off, if you are normally working or busy or driving someone to school around this time and you don't watch us live on Twitch, welcome. When we hit the hype train, we normally do something called a shot.
Yes, we'll take like a shot of alcohol.
You okay?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, are you reading?
No, they're just sending emotes.
All right. So explain what the shot is today,
Are we
Carla
doing
Marie.
it right now?
I mean, we're
No,
in
we're on level
just
4.
Explain what the shot is,
Okay,
though. That way
today's
we can speed this up.
From Seattle Cocktail Club, it's a BMW,
Ooh.
and that stands for Bailey's, Malibu, and Whiskey.
Bailey's, Malibu, and Whiskey. Okay. And how much does it say, like?
No, if you go to seattlecocktailclub.com/CMA, all of the exact ingredients are in there. They make it pre-mixed for us so that we don't have to do all of that during the show.
And that's all that's in there? Is the Bailey's, the Malibu, and the whiskey?
Full ingredient list. Read it.
Wow. That's cool.
Okay. Bailey's, Malibu, whiskey.
And yeah, there's also people using the choo-choo emote, which obviously means that we are
That's awesome.
in the middle of a hype train. A couple things we are going to talk about today. Why does this happen? I changed this thing twice today, and it reverted back to Thursday's list. Give me one moment here.
So,
Unbelievable.
how was everybody's weekend? Did you watch football? Sad time for me. Well, the Giants are moving on, so that's nice. But
So why was it a sad time?
because the Seahawks, I was like breathing to say the next part of my.
Oh,
my
okay.
thought. Thank you. The Seahawks lost though. For a minute there, I was like, "Damn, this is nuts. They're gonna win," and then they didn't. So that was a time. Yeah, the Jags won, which was the most shocking thing ever. So Rebecca and Jack's very excited about that because they were losing, 27-0?
They were down 27-0.
Yeah.
No, they were down 17. I know they were down 17-0. Was it officially 27-0? Because I wasn't watching the game. We were at a wedding, which we will talk about in a second. But this is what's on the list today, January 16th.
Whoa, new font.
I did change the font. Do you like this one better?
Yeah, well, I can't really see this.
Here, I'll put it on the screen. You can let me know how you feel.
Yeah, it
about
was 27-0 at one point.
Do you like that font better, Carla Marie?
Yeah.
Okay, so Iggy fans, we're going to talk about that. I'll explain that in a second. Till death do us part. We will talk about the wedding that we were at. Digital voodoo doll.
Ooh.
I think I mistakenly created one yesterday that we're going to have to talk about. The new food pyramid. Lucky Charms over steak. Have you seen this thing, Carla Marie?
No, who made it?
It was funded by a government study.
Okay.
And it was being posted for like days and days and days. And people are very mad because apparently it ranks Lucky Charms over steaks.
Well, steaks can give you a heart attack.
But we will talk about that in a second. And obviously, the Morning Show podcast is available wherever you listen to podcasts. So let's see where we're at in the hype trains. 23% of hype train level 5. So explain how people can interact with the hype train.
Okay, so you can, if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe to our channel on Twitch. For you to do that, I believe if you go back to our main page, it says subscribe on there. You can't do it like in the chat, but you can also donate bits. So by doing that, you can go to the little, there's like a diamond in the chat, I guess how you would describe that. And we can't cheer on our own channel. But if you hit the diamond, there's a chance to like send bits in there, like Alicia from the 215 just did.
And bits are like tips, basically.
Yeah, we're like strippers in here.
Shaking it for some dollars.
Anthony will dance if we
You
hit
can also follow along. Even if you're not following right now, if you hit the follow button, that also triggers the hype train to move up a little bit. And once we get to hype train level 5, we will take that BMW shot, like Carla Marie said.
Do not hit unfollow, then follow. Does not help.
We'll try it. Maybe it does help.
I think people have asked in the past. I don't think it does. But, we got Lunchbox Lob. Thank you very much.
Gracias. Who else do we have here?
Ooh, Cardi DeJac. It's Carly, right? Is your first name? Carly DiGiacomo. 200 bits. Cass from Florida, 100. Another 100.
Sweet.
I feel like everyone's gambling. And we're like, dealers, hype train success.
Hype train success. There we go.
Choo choo.
Oh,
Yes.
wait. I don't think we did it. It says hype. You've collected all of the level 4 emotes. Yeah, level 4 completed. We did not complete hype train level 5 today, so no shot today.
No shot?
No, that's okay. We'll do it tomorrow.
Can I lower the heat?
Yeah, go for it.
It's a solid 85 degrees in here.
Go for it. Why are you looking at me like a crazy person? So, welcome to the show. First thing we're going to talk about is that cat sitting there, I guess.
Well, you have one too.
Yeah. She's been following me around. We'll talk about that later.
Look at this man. Okay.
Cool. Moving on.
Oh, yay, the John emote.
So, I'm sorry. Iggy fans is the first thing on the list.
Like Iggy
So
Azalea?
I opened up my phone this morning, and I guess Iggy Azalea decided to start an OnlyFans. And in 24 hours, she made $304,000. I don't even know what she did. I don't know if you can really do anything the first day that you open an OnlyFans. Like, what did...
So people are just subscribing with her doing nothing.
I guess. And maybe she's posting butt pics up there. I don't really know, because I've never actually logged on to OnlyFans or paid for anything on OnlyFans.
Here's where it sucks. Like, I would love to do that,
Mhm.
but like someone like Iggy Azalea has posted photos like that on social media before, right?
She's posted like sexy
Music
pics.
videos,
Yeah.
whatever. If I do that, it's gonna be like super shock.
Yeah. She also has like millions and millions of people who know who she is. So even if like 1%
Yeah,
pay
but I'll
her,
get randos.
you would get randos.
There's just so much money to be had.
There is, and if this comes as a shock to you, one of the things I talked to the stripper about last weekend when I was in Las Vegas was OnlyFans.
Yeah, you said that.
And I asked, I was like, do all the girls here have OnlyFans? I'd imagine, like, especially during the pandemic, they all
Mhm.
opened up. And she said, yeah, during the pandemic.
But Vegas didn't really even shut down.
No, it did. It was shut down for a while, like everything else. It opened up earlier than
Yeah,
other
yeah.
places, but it did shut down. And all of those strippers who work in a cash business for the most part needed to make some money, so
Yeah.
they all hopped on OnlyFans. And she said she didn't. And the whole concept was, yeah, there is a paywall, but there, to some extent, the second something's on the internet, it's on
the
there
internet,
forever.
yeah.
Like you lose control of it entirely. Martha asked, did we forget about the You Look Great giveaway on Thursday? We did not hit the threshold
Yeah.
to do the You Look Great giveaway on Thursday. But it's just kind of crazy that someone like Iggy Azalea can make $300K in one day
But
just
like
by
someone
being
like
on the
me,
site.
what is it, like $5 a month for OnlyFans?
I think you can adjust it.
Because like
I
I'd
don't
be
really
like,
know.
well, let me see what she's doing. I'm gonna pay $5 this first month.
And I think that does happen with a lot of celebrities. But I think Cardi B is still one of like the highest rated people or highest grossing people on OnlyFans. And she doesn't even do like naked things on there.
But when did she start?
A couple of years ago. She's been on OnlyFans for a while, I think.
Oh, you made it sound like she just made it 24 hours in her first.
No, Iggy Azalea just started.
Who did you said Iggy?
No, I said Cardi B.
Oh, I think I heard Iggy.
Not all female rappers are the same, Carla Marie.
Cardi B crushes on there. But like, what is she putting on there?
I think it's just like more
Can
like
we
family
use
stuff.
OnlyFans as like a Patreon. So Patreon is what
Some people do.
a lot of podcasters use. So they'll put out part of their podcast, but then like an extended version on Patreon, so you have to pay for the rest, which I think is so bizarre. I think just then have people pay for your podcast. It doesn't make sense to put half one place and half another place. Like that's just weird.
Well, I think the reason people do that is like I know Chris DiStefano does. He has a Patreon podcast, but he also puts other content out on YouTube and stuff, and that's because you use all the other avenues to like market yourself. And then when people decide they want more of you, they can subscribe to your podcast.
But instead of using Patreon, we can just use OnlyFans.
People do that, though. There are a lot of creators who will use OnlyFans. I think Patreon gives you more levels to do things, but it's interesting.
My sister and I have been talking about doing an OnlyFans and just our feet and call it like Sister Feet.
And what would you do?
I don't know. We can put photos of like our feet touching and people would like lose their mind, but like that's not sexual. Like, obviously, it's not weird.
It is weird.
No, it's not.
Do you and your sister just like rub feet?
If we were sitting on a couch together, we would touch feet. Not like a rub it.
Would you interlock your toes
We could.
and hold one another?
That was a conversation we had with friends over this weekend talking about do you lock your toes with your significant other?
If you do that, you're weird. If you do it and you enjoy it, by all means, keep doing it. I just want you to know you're also weird while you're enjoying
weird
it.
in what sense? Just different? Or that's a weird thing to do?
Both.
I don't think it's a weird thing to do.
To lock toes with your significant other. Have you ever done it?
I don't know. Not with you.
No, it will never happen.
Can we do it right now?
No.
Oh, we'll save it for OnlyFans. Go to our OnlyFans. We'll lock toes.
Thank you. Martha says it's a weird thing to do.
It's a bonding moment.
Miranda239 says that's a weird thing to do as well. Yeah, I am very much anti-foot. Although, between the two of us, I'm the only one that sold feet things.
It's crazy. That is actually a crazy fact about this show.
I'm glad this weird conversation got to this part of it. Got to this point. Because last week I was going through one of my email addresses and just clearing out like a bunch. What?
Cat.
Oh. Clearing out like a bunch of stuff that's in my inbox. And I got to some older emails. And I started realizing I have all of these emails from people asking me for feet pictures or for like sneakers or socks.
So insane.
Because there's still a video up on our YouTube page.
Years old.
From when we were back on the radio. And I talked about testing out to see because some guy had mentioned that he wanted to buy pictures of my feet. So I said $100. He said yes. And I sold him pictures of my feet. And because of that video, it's one of our most watched videos on YouTube.
It's nuts.
And people still, I'd say on a monthly basis, reach out. So I made a folder.
Okay. What's it called?
It's called Foot Emails. And when I go through my sneakers soon, because I'm going to get rid of some like old gym sneakers, I'm just going to put them up on OfferUp. And then to all of those people, I'm just going to send the link. And when they try to message me back.
They bid? Or they just buy?
They just buy them.
Damn, you can start a bidding war.
Now I'll have a couple of them. And I'm going to put them up for like $200. If they want them, by all means, go for it.
Damn.
But what's going to happen, I know, because this happens on Instagram every now and then, is they'll be like, oh, will you walk 27 miles in them for me? And I'm going to go, there's the price. If you'd like to buy it, go ahead.
Then they're going to be like, ooh, I like when you talk like that.
They might, but then I'll just block. Block. Feet mails? Yeah, I think
I told you to send them to my Poshmark. I got shoes up there.
They're not interested in your twisted toe and your sister feet. Twisted sister feet. That's what your new channel is going to be called.
That's it.
Moving on from Iggy Azalea and OnlyFans. Till death do us part. So we were at a wedding on Saturday. We actually got to host the wedding and do some of the announcements during the ceremony, like getting people ready for the ceremony. Yeah. And what else? I got to introduce the couple for the first time.
Introduce the couple. I got to introduce like the speeches, first dance, stuff like that. I'm going to talk more about that later, but the vows are what's the important part right now. So our friend Sean, who we used to work with here at iHeart in Seattle, is the person who got married. This was his second wedding, right? Mm-hmm. We didn't know him when he was married the first time, whatever. This is his second wedding. He starts off his vows with this sentence. The last time I did this, I said, to death do us part. And as much as I prayed for that to happen, it didn't.
Now, there's a couple ways you can break that down.
There's one way.
No, you could break it down like, oh, he didn't want that relationship to end, but it did.
No, that's not what he meant.
But I'm pretty sure he meant, as much as I hope my ex-wife was dead, she's not.
That is what he was hoping for.
Yeah.
Got divorced. She didn't die.
No.
So we're all on the same page. And
the place lost it.
And the two of us and our two other former coworkers in the back row, and it was just, we were dying. We're like, that was the most Sean thing ever. The whole place was dying. His bride starts hysterical laughing. Like
the officiant everyone was laughing.
It was very much a Sean thing to do. And then he continued on with the rest, and she was crying, not laughing, but actually crying. It was like very sweet.
Yeah, crying for like good reasons.
And then afterwards, I was like, Sean, did you get her permission to say that? He's like, no, but she loved it.
I think he knows his now wife well enough
Yeah.
to know what he can and cannot say to get a good laugh.
But I was like, I'm gonna tweet this because I think it's gonna go viral.
It was very, very funny.
Yeah. The last time I did this, I said to death do us part. And as much as I prayed for that to happen, it didn't.
But there he is on his second wedding. That is rough and funny, says Vicky Vitz. And to wrap up the wedding portion of it, hosting was pretty cool. Carla Marie got booed.
So we were not the DJs. We were not in charge of music at all. There was a Spotify playlist that was connected to speakers that the bride and groom picked out. They were the ones that picked out the playlist. Okay? The wedding planner was the one that kind of controlled the playlist. But at one point, she told me to go up there to make an announcement to make sure people were taking donuts home. And I go up there.
Now, people are dancing and stuff as you're going to make this announcement.
Well, yeah, and I was going to wait till the song ended. So I touched the computer trackpad to see how much time was left in the song before I interrupted because I wanted to do it in between. And when I did that, it hit the next song. And I was like, because the computer was asleep. Mine doesn't do that. I was very confused why that happened.
There was something wrong with like the wires or something because even the wedding planners were having some difficulties getting things to play consistently.
So it then, I forget what it was playing. Some like 70s or 80s song. It was a good song, but then it starts playing Uptown Funk. And I'm like, all right, well, at least I hit Uptown Funk and not something miserable. And everyone stopped. Like when I tell you they just stopped and turned to me, I was like, sorry, wasn't me. So I waited. Oh no, I didn't even, the song started like cutting in a random spot. Like it was almost like a speaker, skip CD, and it like went silent. And they all keep looking at me and I go, it's not me. And then finally it happened again and someone goes, worst DJ ever. And I go, I'm not the DJ. Scream, I'm not the DJ. And then I was like, well, now would be a great time to remind you that there's donuts over there and blah, 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 and do this. And I was like, I'm done. I walked away. And whatever song came on next, it was like, I don't know, a song from the 90s or early 2000s. And there was like a 16-year-old. And she's like, is it all old songs? And I was like,
Did you say, is it all old people music?
Something like that. And I was like, I will never be a DJ.
No. And I will give DJs a lot of credit. In any capacity, DJs are deserve a lot of respect. But wedding DJs specifically, because people are so particular and there's always like a handful of aunts, uncles, cousins, drunk friends, someone that has to complain.
Yeah.
And try to like get you to change the music while you're doing your job. It's being a wedding DJ. Next time you see one, just be like, man, that person's working their butts off.
Yeah, so.
But you were the worst wedding DJ of all time. You turned off Uptown Funk.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I turned on Uptown Funk.
And then you turned it off. Didn't it switch?
No, it didn't switch.
Oh,
It just
okay.
kept going like, no music, no music. But when that person yelled worst DJ ever,
How'd you feel?
like that's when I was like, Anthony asked me if I thought it was our old boss in the audience yelling at me.
Next on the list is digital voodoo doll. Now, let me explain this for a second. I'm going to have to get a little bit nerdy here and explain how something works. So, you've still never played a Pokemon game, right,
No,
Carla
we're
Marie?
supposed to do that.
We will.
We have to.
And I will say, the first, 15 minutes or so of a Pokemon game, and the first 15 minutes or so of a lot of video games, you're learning, the characters, the storyline. There's not a lot of action. Bless you. God bless you.
Thank you.
So, in Pokemon specifically, in all of the games, you meet the professor of that game who explains the region that you're in. You name yourself. You do all these things, and you at some point in the first 15, 20 minutes, you pick your first Pokemon, your starter Pokemon. And I specifically got a game called Pokemon Sun because one of the starter Pokemon is a cat.
Ooh.
Okay? I'm going to put the cat on the screen. The cat's name is Litten because it's a fire Pokemon. So it's a little kitten or a lighter kitten, like fire. And one of the I knew I was going to do this when I started this game. I was going to name this kitten Max.
But it's black.
It's got red on it though, and it's a fire kitten. And
That's 100% orange.
Okay, so it's even better because
Oh,
Max is orange. And I think later on in the game, as it evolves, it gets more orange or red.
That makes sense.
And Max is my favorite cat anyway, so it didn't matter. So Max, right after I named this kitten Max, now keep in mind the starter Pokemon is supposed to be with you throughout the whole game and be your best friend.
It's like Salem in Sabrina.
So I'm not exaggerating, not even a bit. I pressed, because you get to nickname the Pokemon when you acquire them. So I nicknamed it Max. And I pressed A, enter. And it says, oh, Max, you and Max are friends, blah, blah, blah. Max starts whining at the door because I was in this studio. Out of nowhere, 12:30 at night, Max starts whining at the door.
Max, girl.
And I went, wait, that's so weird. I literally she was sleeping, woke up, came over because I named this thing Max. And I'm not exaggerating either when I tell you she has not left my side since I named that Pokemon Max last night.
Do you believe?
She has followed me everywhere.
But you don't believe in voodoo dolls.
I don't. But this is weird. Maybe digital Pokemon voodoo works.
I mean, I believe in it. Come here, Max.
I mean, I moved into different rooms. I slept in different places.
Well,
and she followed me everywhere. I got up in the middle of the night to pee. She followed me to the bathroom. Then she followed me back to sleep. She has not left my side since I named my Pokemon Max.
well, it's not really much different than normal.
No, this is weird. We're going on 8 hours straight
That's crazy.
of her being by my
Well,
side.
Make sure you take care of it in the game.
I know. Well, I'm worried now. What if it loses some battles?
Well, what happens in Pokemon?
Well, they faint. And then you have to take them to a Poke Center and bring them back.
We don't have time for that.
So I just have to make sure my Litten / Max does not faint.
Max, girl, no fainting.
But
Can we talk about this ad that is on the screen? Because it's driving me insane.
what, the balanced nutrition by milk?
Okay, at the it's milk. It's a straight up ad
Yeah.
for milk, not even a brand.
Yeah.
Okay? It
You've never
says
seen the...
milk hydrates better than water.
Okay.
Is that a fact?
Maybe because it has sugars in it.
So Mike is
Let's-
supposed to get
let's look it
60
up.
ounces of milk a day?
Does milk hydrate better than water?
Because if not, that's false advertising.
Yes. Milk is hydrating, according to research.
Is it more than water, though?
The findings indicate that both skim milk and whole milk are more hydrating than water since when the participants drank milk, they were able to retain fluids longer than when they drank water.
Let me tell
Now,
you
who
what.
did this study? Let's see. Real Simple is the website that posted that.
Let me tell you right now what fluids I would not be holding if I drank that much milk or any milk. Any of it.
Yeah. But don't you remember the milk mustache commercials?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that was facts.
No, but you made it sound like you've never seen an ad for milk.
I know I have. It's just so bizarre seeing them now. I feel like I haven't seen it in forever.
Oh, there's still Clay Thompson, I think, is still one of their big
I don't see it.
clients of milk. I don't know, whatever.
Milk's protein
Endorsers?
helps you recover. But
Yeah,
that's chocolate milk it's showing me here.
Yeah, there's a whole thing of drink chocolate milk too instead of a protein shake. That's a thing. Which actually is a great segue.
Well, we
And-
haven't looked at the chat.
Okay, look at the chat. So, it's actually a great segue to what I'm going to talk about next. The new food pyramid.
Oh, God.
Now, there's a good chance you saw a graphic and a lot of people, especially Instagram nutrition influencers, the Joe Rogans of the world, the Max Lunggrave, I think is his name, all these people posting about how terrible our government is because the government wants you to have Lucky Charms over steak. Okay? I'm going to pull up the thing that went viral towards the end of last week. And I agree, it was wild. And I was very confused when I saw it. So what do you take away from this, Carla Marie, as you look at the list?
Well, what am I looking at? A list of food? And
It
what are the
says-
numbers?
Well, just take a look at this graphic because this is what was being shared.
So green means good, yellow means okay, and red means bad.
Basically, so in the new
Okay.
food pyramid that everyone's talking about, green is to be encouraged,
Okay.
yellow is to be moderated, and red is to be minimized. Okay? So, for example, ground beef, cheddar cheese, and whole fried eggs in butter apparently are to be minimized. Whereas almond M&Ms or Lucky Charms are to be moderated,
I eat ground beef all the time.
and frosted mini wheats, watermelon, kale, frozen yogurt, those are to be encouraged.
Does this have chicken? Where did I just skinless chicken breast is under Honey Nut Cheerios? Like, how did the meat farmers of America feel?
So, I'm glad you noticed all of those things.
Watermelon is number one.
Now,
it's
this
just
is
water.
So, this is,
Sugar.
I think it's called the Good Ranchers. Yeah,
Good luck.
goodranchers.com
Oh.
is who posted this article. And this is the graphic that really like took off. Even their header with Lucky Charms on there, it was everywhere. And it says, buckle up. This one is a doozy. You probably missed it, but in September 2022, the White House hosted a conference that focused on nutrition, health, and hunger in America. Some name I can't pronounce, who was one of the main organizers of the event and is currently dean of the Tufts School of Nutrition, presented a newly designed food pyramid that only cost 3 years of time and millions of taxpayer dollars. The new wisdom they found, Lucky Charms are healthier than steak.
So I think my question about this is, I mean, I guess I don't really. There is no real situation where eating Lucky Charms over steak would be better in one chance. But I think if you're gonna have a lot of something, aren't you better off having Lucky Charms and a lot of steak?
Well, you don't even have to go that far down the rabbit
Okay.
hole of trying to figure this out. Because thankfully, they said in this article, in this blog post, don't believe me? Here's some results pulled out of the Tufts Food Compass. And that's a hyperlink. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to look into what this thing actually is. Because this
Okay.
makes no sense to me. And I am not one
It's like a joke.
who is going to blindly trust what the government tells me to eat.
No.
Because they've made some terrible decisions.
I
in the
mean, you
past.
saw the food pyramid when we were kids.
Yeah. And the first thing I realized was, and this is the actual, like, it's not a new food pyramid. It's called the food compass,
Okay.
which when you think about it, what does a compass do?
It navigates you into different directions.
Okay. So this isn't meant to replace the food pyramid, which is outdated and not necessarily the best thing anyway, but it's meant to guide you to make better decisions when choosing in food categories.
Okay.
That's the really important part. So as you notice here, let's use the first one. Fruits. You have these numbers from 100 down to 17.
Okay, so if I had to pick a fruit, I should have a raw apricot
That's one of the ones that is encouraged according
over
to
a
this list.
maraschino cherry. That makes sense.
Exactly. So the numbers on the top,
Oh, I know where this is going.
the numbers on the top are the food compass score. So over 70, they decided was a, quote, reasonable cut point
Okay, wait.
to be encouraged.
Are these people then comparing, like, if strawberries got 100 on here, but steak got a 70
Exactly.
in a different chart against other meats?
This is where all of the confusion is coming from.
This is
And
why you can't trust
And
anybody.
notice in this study, all the colors are blue.
Yeah,
They're not red,
no.
green,
So
or
where did
yellow.
that other chart come from?
I'll get to that in a second. But just to
This
break
is
it down,
definitely helpful, actually.
this is actually great. So when you go through, you'll notice that like they pulled out 3 types of cherries. Raw cherries, encouraged. Have them. Enjoy.
Dried?
Dried cherries, moderate it.
Mm.
Have some, but not too many. Maraschino, that's how you pronounce it, right?
Maraschino.
Maraschino. Cherries, minimize them.
I feel like it is our duty to make sure America sees this chart.
And then you go down, and obviously not all seafood, dairy, eggs, or meat are the same. So this helps you figure out which ones should be minimized, which ones should be moderated,
Nothing got 100.
and which ones should be encouraged. But broiled salmon, 95. Have more of it.
Oh, I ordered that.
What else do we have here? Cottage cheese,
54.
moderate it. And then all the way on the left, hot dogs, minimize them.
Makes sense.
But this isn't comparing.
Where's Gabagool?
Do they have like
They have
salami? Minimize
probably
salami.
there. It's probably with salami.
And again, anything under 30 should be minimized. But this isn't telling you that you should have more ground turkey, because that's a 60, than
Bananas.
pineapples. I don't know, just an example. Or bananas. It's just saying that in the meat world, that's where that lies. In the meat, dairy, poultry, whatever. And then this was what was really revealing. And I might actually do a deep dive on this in the morning show podcast, because so many people I saw posting the incorrect graph.
Well, I need this link. Share this link with the people so they can spread the good word.
Yeah, here you go. Or I can just tell them to share the podcast tomorrow. But this is one of the parts that were really useful. These are all of the groups and categories that were tested. These colored bars over here. And this is where they fall in relation to one another.
Okay.
So you'll still see savory sweets, lowest one. Grains, also low. Fats, also low. So this new food pyramid is not telling people
like Joe Rogan or whatever, does a great podcast, but when it comes to the science stuff and we say things like, but did he actually do the research?
Yeah.
No, he just looked at a chart that someone probably made in Canva and didn't actually click or read anything else. I'm not saying I'm better than him, smarter than him, any of that. I'm just saying some people don't do an ounce of the work and just run with this as a headline, and that's unbelievably frustrating.
And then 83 Marie Smith just said, guys, I'm confused. Did the original chart you showed come from actual data or the Joe Rogans of the world? So this chart, those numbers, as we dove into like the real stuff, those are the numbers. But in relation to things in their category. So I was like, all right, who made this thing? Like, where did this come from? Chart is from Limitations of the Food Compass Study. So I decided to click on that. This is literally what I did until 3 o'clock in the morning yesterday, so we're all going to go on this ride. And this is essentially an abstract on why that food compass study has some shortcomings, which every food study is going to have shortcomings. And yes, this doesn't mean that our government isn't funded by some organizations who benefit from us eating poorly. It's not what I'm trying to say. But that's where the chart comes from. That's the exact chart, I believe, right? Watermelon on top, ground beef on the bottom.
What is that chart saying in this breakdown?
The chart, I read the whole thing yesterday, and it still doesn't compare like chicken breast to Honey Nut Cheerios. It's just saying that there are bioavailability things that aren't taken into account in this study. But it's still, if you read this whole thing,
misinformation is a scary thing.
And this is,
so
it's
scary.
It's cherry-picked, no pun intended, cherry-picked information.
What's cherry, though? What's cherry?
Dried cherry.
Okay, middle of the road.
Middle of the road. Yeah. It's not always there. And that's why when you see something like that enrages you, one of the good things to do is probably a deeper dive.
Yep.
There was actually a friend of ours who's a mom.
I haven't seen it shared once. Sorry. Not once.
Our friend of ours, Jenny, who has 2 kids.
We got cats on the screen again.
Oh, let me put this over here. Nope.
Just go back to the main screen.
I'm trying. Oh, back to the main screen. I saw a couple of people post it last week. And then one of our friends, Jenny, who is a mom, and she like ranted on her Instagram story about it. And I was like, you know what? I need to figure out what's going on here. And I actually responded to her. And I said, this is kind of what I found. I'm sure there's still more to dive into. But it's not as infuriating
What did
as
she say?
She actually said thank you. I was like that because this didn't make any sense. And I think that's the thing we all need to learn. Like, if it doesn't make sense, you should probably look into it. Hey, Sean Garrett.
Milwaukee Tom said it's on us to read on our own. True.
It is.
Unfortunately, though.
But it should be on people who share information to also do a little bit of research before they just start rage sharing, which is a thing.
I've definitely rage shared stuff and then be like, maybe that wasn't right.
And here's something else that I found. So the blog that this was on, let me put this back on the screen real quick. The good bloggers or good ranchers, thought to myself, well, who are these good ranchers? What do? Well, they sell meat. They sell meat in general.
But the meat, no one said anything bad about meat.
But if you look at that list quickly.
Yeah. That list, yes.
If you look at this list quickly.
Should we email these people?
Ground beef is on the bottom. So they probably decided we need to do some PR here.
The Dutton family would not be happy about this either.
To minimize us losing money and people buying Lucky Charms because no one knows how to research anymore.
I bet you Scotty and Andy talk about this on Serial Killers as if it's facts.
Maybe. And
I can't. We're not getting into all this now.
Yeah, there was a lot. You can check it out for yourself. Goodranchers.com if you want to hear their
Should we
their
send
rage
them an
post.
email explaining it?
No. I did think about doing like a TikTok video about it.
You have to hit transition.
Oh, yeah, I do. You're right.
You should do a TikTok video about it.
We'll see if I got the time.
Thank you, Anthony, for that research project.
Yeah. Sonali said, I just kept seeing Lucky Charms are healthier than steak, and I ignored it because I don't eat either. Listen, as someone who was a big fan of Lucky Charms growing up, I would have been thrilled to see that it was actually healthy.
Court said, it's just so sad. It is just so... It's moving. To see how easy it is to disprove the assertions, but most people will not look into it at all other than face value.
And that was the crazy thing. There were all of these people, and obviously when Joe Rogan, because he's such a huge personality, when he posts anything like, for lack of a better term, there are a lot of dick riders for Joe Rogan. And there's a lot of these other influencers who want to pull from his audience.
Yeah.
And they'll jump into the comments right away. Joe, yeah, you're so right, bro. It's so crazy how stupid our government is and how
I'm gonna
blah,
go comment.
blah, blah.
Did you click on anything else other than this beautifully colored chart?
So Joe Rogan.
Come on, it's gonna fire me up. Oh, he literally took a screenshot of that website.
He actually thanks. He says, thanks to the large collection of legitimate nutrition experts with independent shows distributing information based on solid research, we know this is BS. And he's literally posting the same exact thing that we just went through. Complete, undeniable, indefensible BS. But yet, this government-funded recommendation chart is here to let you know they suck at giving food advice too. And he wrote, repost Good Ranchers and their original thing. And then you have...
I can't even,
40,000 comments.
No, stop. This scares me because they're all probably agreeing with him.
This guy is a Stanford, he has a research lab at Stanford, Andrew Huberman, okay? Wrote, unbelievable and yet sadly believable. Avoiding highly processed food seems to be the one thing all the true experts agree on. And yet this, from the government side, we urgently need people in government who understand and care about actual public health.
Dude, read an article.
Max...
Maybe we are smarter.
His last name. There's a lot of people on here who have huge audiences and talk about nutrition. Huge audiences.
It's scary.
Like this guy, Max, how would you pronounce his last name? I used to follow him, but he got real annoying. Lugaviri?
Lugavir.
He's got 600,000 followers, and he's a New York Times best-selling author of Genius Foods, which apparently... anyone who writes a book is a New York Times best-selling author.
It's absurd. Can you do a TikTok so I can share it?
It's going to take a lot of time, but I'll try to put one together today.
Well, we'll just post this.
That took 20 minutes.
We'll just post this.
I mean, we could post this as a clip on YouTube, but I'll do a much shorter one where I don't jump into all of the categories and whatnot.
I got to get the word out. The good word.
You're going to hit the streets, knock on doors, shake hands, kiss babies.
I got to get to my
that.
family before this gets to them.
This is definitely in one of your family's inboxes
they haven't
already.
Said it yet. Oh, in the inbox probably. So Sean Garrett showed up and said, I guess I missed the wedding conversation. Yeah, Sean. And it was Sean. It was his wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one who said the vows that we read earlier.
Yes.
So if you have questions for Sean, because I know a lot of people did, he's in here. And he was the one who said, quote, to open his vows, The last time I did this, I said, to death do us part. And as much as I prayed for that to happen, it didn't.
It was honestly, I'm not a huge fan of like, not a huge, I don't hate them either. I feel like wedding ceremonies they're like pretty cookie cutter. You have two standards. You have the religious standard, and you have like I got my best friend to do this thing.
Yeah.
Bang, bang, bang.
Really
We move on.
else.
I loved that broke up the monotony of the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
And both of their vows are actually very, very good.
Sean said
after that part,
like he said, but the rest of his vows made that make sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I told everyone how someone in your family called me the worst DJ ever.
It could have been a friend or her family. I guess
don't know who said it.
Same family.
And I don't even know because someone that night was like, was it a guy or a girl? And I was like, I don't even know. I just know I heard it.
When the audience is screaming at you, it's hard to realize what's going on sometimes. The last thing, that was the last thing on the list. And now we can just hang out. Want to just hang? What do we do? Oh, I actually did have a question because in today's episode of the Morning Show podcast, when I talked about Twitch in our little like promo spot, I tried to invite people who normally can't make it here during Twitch because of their commute or work or school or whatever. So if you are here when you normally can't be, please let us know.
Dee Dee was one of those.
Yes.
Just let us know right off the top. That was cool. Oh, let me get my link.
And then Tacoma Swifty said, is anyone doing any volunteer events for MLK Day?
Ooh.
You know what? That is actually a very good idea. I feel like I haven't volunteered in a while.
I haven't volunteered since I cleaned all the poop off those puppies from Motley Zoo.
Yeah, we've done stuff with Motley Zoo. We've done stuff with Cocoon House. Those are probably the two organizations in Washington that we've like donated not donated. Yeah, I guess donated actual time, not just money. B-Delps, I'm working a double shift. Damn.
B-Delp said something earlier when we were talking about feet.
Mm-hmm.
Said that conversation reminded her of a time at a bar when a guy said that he would like to massage her calves because she had really nice calves.
Really nice calves are like it's a weird body goal for men and women.
I'll tell you what though, I might have taken that guy up on an offer because calf massages so good.
They hurt so bad.
So bad, but you need them. It's like your calves hold obviously your feet, but your calves, the muscle holds everything, and it's one of the least worked and like massaged muscles that if you use a foam roller,
it's so painful though when you first start it. When I go to the chiropractor,
I scream when he does it.
Oof.
Not that bad, but
he does that. He puts like his thumb and oh man,
yeah, you scream more than I do.
Yeah, especially there. The rest of it, I'm usually pretty good, but the calves, because I don't really like stretch a lot. I'm trying to be better at it, but I just don't do it, and it shows when we get to that part of the appointment.
A lot of stress on the calf.
Let's see. Twizzy, is that how you would say that name? Off from school today, so catching the show live. Well, thank you for hanging with us.
What is school? Are you in college, high school, elementary? Also, this was a debate. My best friend Alex lives born and raised upstate New York. And she posted this thing the other day about one of her friends sharing this because she and I have always debated, is it elementary school or elementary school? Now, it's clearly spelled elementary, but upstate New York, they, like, all of her and her friends say, like, when I was in elementary school.
Elementary.
So the debate,
I say elementary.
But the debate was her friend had put up a poll, put up, like, the pronunciation of it, and said, clearly elementary is only upstate.
They say elementary, not elementary school.
Elementary. But I'll tell you right now, you ain't finding one person in Jersey that's saying elementary.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If I said that, my mom would be like, you sound like an idiot who raised you.
And then you'd have to say, you did, Mom.
And clearly it's pronounced elementary. Like it's spelt elementary.
When I hear elementary, I think of Sherlock Holmes.
Why?
Because his whole thing was like, elementary, my dear Watson. That's why Lenny wrote elementary, my dear CM, in the chat. Have you never? I actually don't really remember watching or seeing or reading any Sherlock Holmes
I
things,
watched
but I
the
know
one-
that was like the saying.
The only Sherlock Holmes thing I saw is the one with the dog. There's a dog version of it or something, a cartoon.
I have no idea.
Am I thinking of Scruff McGruff?
Maybe. Wishbone?
Yes.
I don't know what wishbone is. What is
Wishbone. It definitely was Wishbone.
Okay,
it was
we're
a
gonna look
beagle,
this up.
and he would go solve all the crimes. And it was a real dog.
Wishbone-
It wasn't a cartoon.
Wishbone the Beagle?
Well, yeah, but it wasn't called. It was just called. No,
But this is him?
no, there Wishbone TV series. And there was like a song, Wishbone.
Oh.
What the heck is this? You just clicked on Wikipedia. What is a TV show?
Yeah. Okay,
It
where
was
do I
PBS,
find-
man. I was a P1 of PBS. Like I watched PBS TV around the clock. Arthur,
Here we go.
Magic School Bus, Wishbone.
Oh, it's streaming on Roku if you still want to watch it. Here we go. The IMDb of Wishbone got an 8.2.
Clifford.
Let me put this on the screen
Lot
now.
of animals. Look at him. Oh no, he wasn't a beagle. I guess.
There's a Jack Russell.
Yeah. My sister and I used to want a Jack Russell. Look at him solving crimes.
He looks like he's sniffing sneakers.
Those shoes are so in right now.
So, did he talk, or was he like
He just
Lassie, where he just like barked at people?
Lassie, look at him. Oh my god.
Look at those graphics.
Man, I would kill to be in one of those shows.
What do you Oh, we're gonna get a DMCA hit because of Wishbone's
I'll-
theme song.
I'll kill somebody. No, go away, Verbo.
Stop. That's more annoying.
Season 1. Let's see. I can't wait to text. Max.
95.
Yeah, this was my prime age for TV. Wishbone.
Oh, I do remember this. All right, we're not gonna listen to the whole thing though. 'cause-
Memory unlocked.
Yeah, I do remember the intro now.
Wait,
I don't think I really watched it. It probably came on after a show that I liked, and I stopped watching.
what is happening? We're being spammed. Oh my god, block this person.
Okay, I'll get in there. It's okay.
You come in here and you ruin our Wishbone conversation.
Is someone blocking? Let's see.
Right there, the ban mark.
Man, see you later. Out of here. You big dork.
Okay, not buying a shirt. Goodbye, Lisa. Okay, listen, we were having a very good conversation. You should have came during the food one. That was less important. This, on the other hand,
They're gone. They're not listening to. I banned them.
who knows?
So-
You never know. There's a reel right now on Instagram that's viral, and the sound is, what's a TV show that you don't think anyone else watched but you, or something along those
Yeah.
lines. And yesterday I saw one that said it was Adventures in Wonderland.
I vaguely remember that
And it was
show.
like a girl that was Alice in Wonderland, but it was very 90s themes, and like Tweedledee and Tweedledum were like two hip hop dancers. And I was like, what were we watching?
Yeah.
But Wishbone, man, I can't wait to send this to my sister.
Fred the Mailman said he watched Wishbone in college.
What?
Which it is funny because you do watch like
Life is-
there's always that one show that like your college friends end up watching like either when they're high or
Yeah.
something. But let's see, that show was on Disney and it scared me. What show? Oh,
Wishbone?
Gullah Gullah Island. I do remember
Let's
that one.
all go to Gullah Gullah Island.
I think what was the
I need to write these down. so I
Salute
can-
Your Shorts was one that I watched a lot, but I think a lot of people watched that one.
Camp on Awana.
We hold you in our hearts, and when we think about you, it makes me wanna fart.
Hey dude was
Hey
a good
dude
one.
is a good one.
Hey,
What are you
dude.
writing down?
I'm gonna do that TikTok.
And what was the TikTok asking?
It's something like, what's a show or a movie that you think like no one else knows about?
But obviously, Gullah Gullah Island, people know.
But it gets the
Wishbone
people
works.
It gets the people going.
Wishbone works.
There were other shows that popped up on PBS. Clifford, Arthur. Like, I loved Arthur. Magic School Bus.
I wasn't an Arthur fan.
I mean, he annoyed me because he was a little nerd.
Yeah, I think he was just like a whiny little brat, kind of. Reading Rainbow, that was a good one.
Yeah, Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. Wasn't it like, I can be anything, reading rainbow. I think that was the song. Let's see. It's Megnut. Megan said there's a new podcast about the 90s from the people who were on Hey Dude.
Ooh.
Only one episode so far, but it's great. My friend Hav actually had suggested a podcast to me a while ago. And I listened to a couple episodes. It's very, very good if you like really intricate deep dives and music.
Okay, while you find that, I'm going to remind everybody of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
That's a good one. The podcast that I would suggest, it's by The Ringer, but it's called 60 Songs That Explained the 90s. And every single episode is one song. And it's really well researched. Every episode, even though it's only talking about one song, is like an hour and a half.
Okay.
And it gives you like kind of the social context of different songs, why they were so influential, things like that. My favorite episode was Killing in the Name, the Rage Against the Machine song. And I listened to like two others. So
Desiree brings up Dragon Tales. Did you watch Dragon Tales?
No.
It was like the very end of my time, I think, of watching like kid shows. But also then I think Des will remember this one. I know it because of my nieces. The Big Comfy Couch
I've heard of that one.
with Molly and her doll, and they would like do the clock.
I don't know. I
on
don't
the
know that
floor.
well.
She would stretch. Her legs would be the clock.
Let's see. Sonali said Alex Mack. The Secret Life of Alex Mack was a very good show. DuckTales. Woohoo. There was one movie. Speaking of things that we don't think anyone else watched. There was a movie. I think it was called
Dragon Tales.
The Last Unicorn. Yes, The Last Unicorn, a 1989 film. So this thing actually came out before I was born, but for some reason it was in my house. And I used to watch it a lot. Have you ever seen this, Carla Marie?
I don't know.
Let me put this on the screen real quick. We got a lot of things to share today. The Last Unicorn. So that was like the, I guess, cover art. This
That
also
like a
works.
remake of it.
It was kind of terrifying.
Well, that man looks scary.
And it was, I don't really remember the storyline. There's a unicorn, obviously, that they're trying to find, but like this magician-looking man with the bald head on the right-hand side is a bad guy, and then there's these like fire bowls that come out of the ocean. It's real weird. But I don't think, has anyone else watched this? Because this is kind of the point of the TikTok that you're talking about.
I don't know about that one.
Does anybody, it doesn't seem like anyone else.
Everyone's brains are just unlocking shows. I have a show to describe, and I need help remembering what it is. Caillou, but Caillou was like way
What is
like
Caillou?
my nieces that were born in 2003 watched Caillou.
Oh, okay.
So it's Wendy unfortunately does not qualify for
Wait,
this.
Fred the Mailman, do you own, hold on, do you own a copy of The Last Unicorn?
Alicia said she used to be scared of the bull.
Yeah, the bulls were terrifying.
Mrs. Garrett says she owns and loves the unicorn. The
Other
Last
people know
Unicorn.
The Last Unicorn? Because I'm not joking. Up until like right now, there were times where I thought I made up that movie in my head. Because no one in my life ever talked about it. The Last Unicorn. Man, Fred, do you have anything to watch VHSs
I'll watch
on?
it. VHS.
VHS tapes on? Because I might have to come over for a movie night.
I'm sure you can stream it on Roku or Roblox.
Oh, let's see. Let's see if The Last Unicorn
on.
streaming.
After this, I need to describe a movie.
Peacock's got it. And do
We
we
have
have
Peacock.
Do we have Prime Video?
We have Peacock.
And we have Peacock. Okay, cool.
It says subscribed on both of those. You're logged in somewhere.
Oh yeah, there it is. Huh. We're gonna watch The Last Unicorn.
Oh, but you have a whole list of movies you haven't watched.
Wait, I wonder if it's on Amazon Prime, we should see if they can. It's one of the movies that falls under the category that you can also stream,
I highly doubt
and we can all watch it
like,
together.
Who voiced that movie? Who's in it?
Who's in The Last Unicorn? Probably no one we know of. Oh, the trailer. Let's see how bad this trailer is.
We're definitely getting banned. Today's the day.
It's square. You know it's old.
I feel like I'm in Disney.
That woman
Nope.
terrified me. Oh, wait.
Is this the
Close behind
There was
them,
no
cover
audio
their
this whole time.
footprints.
Even
Oh.
for Wishbone. There was no audio.
So I was just singing Wishbone. Well, at least we're not getting DMCA.
And that's why we have the no sound
Yeah, but it took so long.
emote. Okay, now I'm going to play this again because it's good.
We'll give them the sound.
I did.
She is a creature of legend. In an age of sorcery and savagery,
Well, what have we here?
demons,
No!
and dragons, she may be the last unicorn.
All I want to know is if you've seen other unicorns like me somewhere in the world.
Like
You can find the others if you are brave. They passed down all the roads long ago, and the Red Bull ran close behind them and covered their footprints.
Red Bull's
I
terrifying.
could never leave this forest, but I must know if I am the only unicorn left in the world.
The classic tale is now a classic animated adventure,
What's that feeling when you're over this?
featuring the voices of Mia Farrow,
The spell was wrong, but there was true magic in it.
What?
Alan Arkin,
My dear, you deserve the services of a great wizard, but I'm afraid you'll have to be glad of the aid of a second-rate pickpocket.
Jeff Bridges,
That is exactly what heroes
Jeff
are for.
Bridges?
you and me, Moth. Hand to hand to hand to hand.
Robert Klein, Christopher Lee,
I am King Haggard.
and the music of America. A journey into the unknown,
What's that?
Go on!
a mystery full of wonders, and a fantasy beyond imagining.
Not that one.
Oh my god, that
I want to
skeleton.
know
Yeah, I
who
don't
she
like it.
is.
Schmendrick the light!
Oh, it's scary.
Haggard!
Do something!
Magic, do as you will! Magic, do as you will!
I feel like I just watched the whole movie.
Jesus Christ.
The last
Okay.
unicorn. The legend will live forever.
So I saw in the chat earlier. Let me put the main screen back on here. Sean said that the same people who made this movie, The Last Unicorn, also made the animated version of The Hobbit, which obviously was out before all of the movies.
All right, we'll find out if we can stream that through Amazon.
Jeff Bridges, huh?
That's nuts.
Who'd have thunk it?
Okay, so the movie I was thinking, I just need to describe it really quick. I
Yes.
always forget the name. It's not Five Goes West. It's the other one where there's the mean guy and he's trying to get like the eagle eggs or something, and he's got a gun and they're trying
The Rescuers Down Under.
Rescuers Down Under.
Yeah, Rescuers Down Under. Great movie.
That man haunted my dreams.
That was another scary one. Also, I'm looking at the voice cast for The Last Unicorn. Angela Lansbury.
Mrs. Potts?
Did they not? They didn't mention her, right?
She probably wasn't cool then.
Oh, maybe she wasn't a big deal back then, yeah. Huh. What a time to be alive. We can stream The Last Unicorn or
we don't know
watch it on VHS with
Oh.
For the Mailman.
We're all going to Ohio.
Yeah, we'll get a projector.
Movies in the park this summer.
American Tail is an all-time favorite of mine. And I oftentimes find myself singing There Are No Cats in America. Bi-monthly basis, maybe.
I would like to point out that I apologize that no one heard the Wishbone theme song.
Yeah.
And also, Jen Realtor is in here, so that means that you got your Twitch working again. That's very exciting.
And she's back from her honeymoon. She was
Yeah.
taking amazing pictures in You Look
She-
Great gear. It was so
She
cool.
traveled the world in You Look Great gear and gave us a ton of photos.
Wait, people are also writing Christopher Lee and Mia Farrow.
Mia
I don't know who
Farrow
those people are.
This is Mia Farrow. She's 77 years old now. Has been in about 8,000 movies, I think.
What would I know her from?
What would you know her from?
Or Chris who is it? Christopher Lee?
Rosemary's Baby. The Watcher she's in? Known for Rosemary's Baby.
Apparently she's Woody Allen's ex. Did not know that.
Is she in the 1974 Great Gatsby with
Oh, wow.
Robert Redford?
So everyone apparently knows her from being married to Woody Allen.
Yeah.
And who is Christopher Lee? Is Christopher Lee the guy from Back to the Future?
No. That's Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, Christopher. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd. That's right.
Lloyd Christmas, however, is not Jeff. What is Jeff Bridges' name in?
Christopher Lee played Saruman in Lord of the Rings. I've got to look up.
What is
Okay, I'll
Jeff
look it up
Bridges'
later.
name in Dumb and Dumber? Harry. No. Lloyd and
Harry. Yeah. Yeah, Jeff Bridges. That's Jeff Bridges.
Oh,
though.
that's
You're
not-
thinking of someone else.
I'm not thinking. I'm thinking of
I was very confused.
what's his name? They're telling us.
The guy that was in Newsroom is who you're thinking
I'm
of.
thinking of Harry from Dumb and Dumber. What's his name? The people are telling me.
I'm trying to get back to the chat.
Jeff
Jeff Daniels.
Thank you.
Not Jeff Bridges.
We're
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
good today. That's why we don't host a movie podcast or show.
No. But
But Jeff Bridges, he's isn't he Peter Parker? Isn't he Peter Quill's dad?
no.
He plays God in
No.
Who's the guy in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Um,
It looks
Uh,
just like him.
can't think of his name. The chat's going to let us know in a second. Oh, yeah. Jeff Bridges is Big Lebowski. And Kirk Russell you're thinking of.
They look alike.
They do.
Show 'em.
They are
Look,
kind
look,
of
Kurt
similar.
Russell. Look, he comes up automatically because people
It-
also search for
It says people also search for
That's
Kurt Russell.
hilarious.
There is something I want to look up. Movies you can stream
On Twitch.
on Twitch.
Can you Google my name and then see who people also search for?
Probably me. Okay, let's see. Twitch users can now stream movies and TV shows without fear of DCMA. How do I find that list?
I think it's ever changing. You have to go like on Twitch, I think. Like what is that? We're not watching that.
Or do we have to be on the Twitch?
I think. Well, we're not doing that right now cuz
Yeah,
hold on.
I'll figure it out later. Because if we can either do The Land Down Under, American Tail, or The Last...
Land Down Under. Where did that come into play here?
It's The Rescue...
5-0.
No.
Rescuers Down Under.
The Rescuers Down Under. That's what it is. I was thinking of Land Before Time as well.
Okay.
But we're all over the place right now. It's because we didn't have enough Lucky Charms this morning. Had all that stupid meat instead.
Okay, it's all Prime movies, so we might be all right.
So anything on Prime?
We'll see.
Or does Amazon have to like own it? Not just stream it. You know what I mean? Like it has to be an
No,
Amazon.
because remember we looked, we were like, what are these movies?
Yeah.
They were old.
Well, you know what, guys? I think we did a lot today. We took a trip down memory lane. We learned some things. We
We debunked some rumors.
found
Wow.
out that I made a voodoo doll of a cat, a digital one, in the form of a Pokemon. And now I have to keep that Pokemon alive. Otherwise, Max,
They're both in here. They're
not
trying
going to be
get
too
out.
good for her.
Yeah.
Deborah Wilson says, great show. And that
Thanks.
is all I needed today. Thank you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of your MLK day. Like Tacoma Swifty said, if there's a way to donate your time, support a charity, do something good today
Yeah.
with your day off.
Don't
if
be a
you are
dick.
lucky enough to have a day off. We're out of here, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace out, Cub Scouts. You look great.
You look great.